was Rams -2.5. We're looking at Rams -3.5, -4, right around in the same total, about 64.
64, and that is, to my knowledge, the highest NFL total of all time, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I know I've heard
is what I had heard was the highest before.
Yeah, and even if this gets bet under, it's got a little bit of leeway. But we're expecting the sharps to play it under and the general public to play it over.
I tell you, I'll lean to the public side. These teams, neither one of them can stop anything, and neither one can be stopped seemingly on offense. This is the first team to 40 type of football game. It's really going to be a blast, and I'm glad it's in L.A. Shame on Mexico City for not. I mean, this was a great event for them, and they can't even get the field in condition. I mean, come on, you got to be kidding me. Let's go to the NBA, and we have a big trade, Marco.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler going to Philadelphia. How's this change things in the East? We know Toronto has been the team so far that's played, dynamite until last night. They had their second loss. Boston was the preseason favorite for the East. What's this do with Philadelphia bringing him in?
It definitely condenses the gap. I've eased Boston and Toronto out from 6-1 to 7-1 for the title. And originally I dropped the 76ers from 30-1 to 16. But then when I looked at the whole landscape of the East, I dropped them even more down to 12. I really think this addition helps them out tremendously. This is exactly what they were missing. And I don't think they're done yet. I think they're going to do what they did last year when they signed Ilyasova and Bellinelli and go after like a Kyle Korver or maybe a bought-out Ryan Anderson, some guys that can stretch the floor. So I don't think Philly's done yet. They got 3 superstars now, and they're right there in the conversation with Boston and Toronto.
Jeff, as a bookmaker, when you're setting these lines the first few games with Jimmy Butler in the lineup, from the side of the book, you know what the public's going to do. They're going to overreact to Jimmy Butler coming to Philadelphia. The reality of it is it's going to take a few games for them to find the new chemistry, what everybody's role is on the team, and it's actually a detriment. I always feel the first couple games I like to bet against a team that acquires somebody. Where do you find that happy medium when you're setting the line, knowing the public versus the sharps?
Well, we try to be aggressive on the team that they're looking to bet. And the overnight line, Philly is at Orlando tomorrow. We opened at Philadelphia -5.5. We've already seen public support on it. It's up to -6 now. So we didn't make it high enough with the anticipation of what they're looking to bet. And even though it's the first few games, and like you said, it might take some adjustment period, the public's just looking to back that the team that just got the new player, thinking that they're going to make a quick improvement.
What's up with the Celtics offense? It just has not found its way early in the season. Any cause for concern here?
Well, first of all, when getting back Hayward and Irving from last year, they had some young players that really stepped up in the playoffs and saw their production go up, and now they're having to figure out where their roles are with less production because these other guys are taking the spotlight. And along those lines, their schedule's been tough too. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 games, but it was a tough Western trip. It started in Indiana, and they lost to Denver, Utah, and Portland, some tough places to play. So I don't have too much concern based on the early part of the schedule and the acclimation period of getting all these guys together. It's just like Golden State's mentality is the postseason is the regular season. These guys have the whole time to figure it out, and even if they don't get the number 1 seed, the team has their strength in going forward. They'll be fine in the playoffs. It's just an adjustment period to me.
Jeff, heading to the NBA tonight, one of the games on tap, we've got the Hornets and Cleveland Cavaliers. Man, this Cleveland team, between having, if you're a Cleveland sports fan, it really does suck. Sorry, Ralph and Brian, our buddies, but I know you're not getting a lot of Cleveland action these days.
Really?
No, we're not. And this line opened up Charlotte's 6.5. It's up to 8.5, and Cleveland's without even more players. I saw Korver and Chetty Osman. They're not playing either, so they're getting more depleted, and it's hard to attract money on the Cavaliers at this point with their 1 win. But it's been all Charlotte money tonight.
It's almost as if Ted Stepien has risen from the grave and is running the team once again. The Rockets are starting to find their way. They'll play Denver tonight. This is oddly, you've got 3 games tonight. 2 are on national TV, and the one that's not is the Rockets-Nuggets game.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I said to Ed here. The best game of the night isn't nationally televised. And it's going to be interesting to see Houston going forward now without Carmelo Anthony because he's been a detriment to the teams he's been on the last
100%.
few years.
Yep.
So we'll see if they can get things back in motion because not only losing some guys on the defensive side before the season has hurt them, but their offense has been struggling too. So without that distraction, we'll see if Chris Paul can improve his numbers and some of these other guys can get back to doing what they're used to doing.
Did you see the overtime, the Warriors-Clippers game? I mean, you'd have thought the Clippers had won the NBA championship last night. They were really celebrating. The owners fist pumping down there on the court. It was actually fun to see.
It was, but did you also see the end of regulation and Durant and Draymond Green on the bench?
Yeah.
And if you can lip read, it was just saying, pass the ball. We'll see what happens moving forward. But, tonight, Jeff, this is another one where you're setting the line. You've got the Warriors that are banged up. You got them coming off a back-to-back. So I know generally, you're going to, penalize. You're going to favor a team that's rested versus a team playing a back-to-back. But it's the Warriors, and they're coming off a loss. And you know that the public, the Warriors aren't going to lose 2 in a row. So how did you have fun?
And they're not.
Yeah, and how did you have fun making this number?
Well, it's a little bit less than you're used to seeing with a team like Atlanta coming in, but Atlanta played real scrappy the other night when they played in L.A. against the Lakers and really had a chance to win that game. And now you have the situation with Golden State, just like you mentioned, without Curry, coming off an overtime the night before, which is not an ideal situation. And this team has struggled more so with Curry out of the lineup than any other superstar that they have. So we've been seeing some Atlanta support. This line was 12.5. Now it's down to Golden State minus 12.
In golf, it's the RSM Classic this week. And I think the RS might stand for Reed Simpson because he's going to be the favorite in this, isn't he?
Webb, yeah.
Webb Simpson. Now, what did I say? I screwed it up. It's not WSM. It's the RS. Okay. Nice try.
That's all right. He's the only one in single digits at 9-1. And, he's the one that's had the most steady season. There's a lot of youngsters from the lower tour that are up in this tournament. So Cameron Champ, though, he's a second favorite at 20-1, and he's off to a tremendous start. Some of these other guys that have been playing well, J.J. Spawn, C.T. Pan. So it's a field of youngsters that a lot of people that don't regularly follow golf aren't used to seeing. But this is the last regular full field event of the calendar season for the PGA Tour. So it's if you want to get your bets in on matchups, the outrights. We pretty much go to tours all around the world, and then Tiger's tournament in the Bahamas in December, and that rounds out this calendar season.
I want to give soccer a suggestion, and I'm dead serious about this. I believe it or not, everything else was done, and I'm actually watching the Portland-Seattle playoff game on, was it Sunday night, I guess it was. And they end up going to penalty kicks. Oh, man, I mean, you can't decide playoff games like that. Go to something, I don't know. Maybe I understand it might take forever to decide these games if you play the standard overtime. Maybe they can take guys off the field like they do in the NHL for overtime in the regular season. Just something other than penalty kicks in a playoff game.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, and I could see that as if they started reducing some of the guys on the field and it opens it up more, there'd become a point where they have the ability to score. And I hate seeing when it goes to the penalty kicks, too. I know the crowd gets into it, but it's just so random, and it doesn't decide what you've built up the whole season. It's almost like in Major League Baseball playing a one-game playoff after 162 games. I think you should do more than what they're doing with that. So there should be some more options.
At least they're playing 9 innings or more in those baseball games. They're not just going up there and having like a home run derby or something like that to decide it. And the thing on the penalty kicks is, and I don't mean to diminish them, but it's all about if the goaltender guesses which direction the guy's going to kick the ball correctly, he's got a good chance to stop it. And if he doesn't, it's in. I don't know. To me, penalty kick, if the crowd gets into it, good for them. But I think penalty kicks are boring. Anyway, how about a soccer match of the week?
Well, we're on international break, and we got UEFA Nations League this week and some friendlies. And the one that I have to be looking at is on Thursday. The U.S. plays a friendly Wembley Stadium in England. It's on ESPN2 at 12 o'clock. So, no afternoon baseball this time of year. You got some afternoon international football, and you can watch the U.S. try to battle England in some soccer. England's a 1.5 favorite, total of 2.5, so it should be interesting.
There's action every day now. I mean, there is just a bunch of it every day. And
baseball's the only major sport that we're not in play right now. It's a fun time.
And pitchers and catchers will be reporting to camp pretty soon. in the meantime, and, look, if you want to get down there and have fun with a lot of people that are watching the game, you can go shoot darts and do other things as well. The Superbook is just a great place to go view the games.
Oh, there's no doubt. The energy down here, especially on Sundays, is just fantastic. And that's the one thing that's different than going to a bar or watching at home is just the energy of the crowd. It's almost like you're at the stadium itself. Then to be able to have action, you don't even need to get in line. You can just bet it on your phone app if you have that, or look at the lines on the phone app anytime, anywhere you're at. So there's just so many opportunities with technology in this day and age.
Marco is the ultimate multitasker as far as this goes because, and this has been witnessed, he will be sitting in the poker book, in the poker room, watching the games, playing his hands, and betting games on his app all at the same time. And he's eating as well.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
That is talent.
Yes, it is. He's also looking for good-looking women, even though he's married. Just to look. It's okay to look.
It's all right.
All right. Good stuff, Jeff. We hope you have another great weekend, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Make sure to follow Jeff Sherman on Twitter at GolfOdds. And you'll get, by the way, Jeff consistently updates all the future books. So you get to see those as they happen. And you saw the adjustment made in the 70. We knew there was a little bit of an adjustment in the 76ers because of the Jimmy Butler trade, and some of the other teams moved out a little bit. Also seeing the Rams moving out after the Cooper Kupp injury. And Jeff just told us about that. But you would have already known that if you were following Jeff on Twitter because he posts those updates as they happen. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We will look ahead to tomorrow night's football action, and we'll also get you, and I guess we should give the numbers. I think it's 21-4, I believe it is, and 11-2 on the last 13. I mean,
incredible.
Joe's angle of the day has been a money maker, to put it mildly. We've got one in the NBA tonight coming up next.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
Cliff Miller with me, Dave Koken. We're talking about what's happening at MJ Christensen at Boca Park. And let's talk about diamonds because they're a girl's best friend and they're also the most intimidating thing in the world for guys.
They see a GSI 1 carat and one's $4,000 and one's $14,000. And they don't understand why. That's why people are flooding into MJ, because we'll sit you down and educate you and help you select the perfect diamond for your occasion.
MJ Christensen, something for everyone this holiday season. Located at Boca Park.
This is Landry. I've worked at Dollar Loan Center on Durango and Centennial in Las Vegas for over 2 years. Happy holidays. A customer named Ken came into our location because we were super close to his home, and he had our jingle stuck in his head.
Dollar Loan Center.
Everyone knows that jingle.
I know, right? Ken's son was in an accident in another state, and he needed a loan right now. He remembered our jingle always guaranteed the lowest rate, and more importantly, that no checking account was required.
Oh, Ken didn't have a checking account.
That's right. A lot of our customers don't have checking accounts. He was shocked at how little it really costs to do the loan, and that we were able to literally hand him the cash in 20 minutes.
Get a little cash, get a little cash, down at the GLC.
Licensed by Nevada Financial Institutions Division. Customer must meet the normal loan qualifications. To review loan qualifications, visit us at don'tbebroke.com. Certain limitations may apply. Loans are subject to approval.
Listen up, ladies and gents. Are you or a special someone taking prescription meds to treat ED? Everyone knows how well they can work. But did you know that with one free call, you can start saving hundreds of dollars on every prescription order? Gone are the days of paying $30 plus per pill. Now, for less than $2 per pill, you can get sildenafil, the active ingredient in your ED meds, in generic 20-milligram tablets. That's right. For less than $2 a pill, you can get the exact same results. Each order is discreetly delivered right to your door. There's even a money-back guarantee. Remember, you don't need to pay big prices to get big results. We'll save you hundreds of dollars on the exact same active ingredient. We deliver generic sildenafil for less than $2 a pill right to your door with a no-questions-asked money-back guarantee. Call right now at 800-384-2913. That's 1-800-384-2913. Again, 800-384-2913. Call right now.
Today's the day to get motivated, to be inspired, to start listening. And now, with Audible, for just $14.95 a month, you get any audiobook of your choice and 2 Audible originals. Plus, for the first time ever, exclusive fitness and wellness programs, all included with your membership. And if you don't like a book, exchange it at any time. So make today the day you start listening to Audible. Start your 30-day trial and get your first audiobook for free at audible.com.